Now, today we are diving into a conversation about confidentiality and the law when it comes to HIV. Okay, Tuesday, Legal Tuesday. So we live in a digital age. People post everything online, sometimes without thinking of the harm it can cause. We've also seen instances where maybe somebody's status has been disclosed online. So, what are your rights? How should hospitals handle disclosure? And what does the law say about deliberate infection or consent for children being tested? To help us unpack this today, we are honored to have Honorable Carolyne Mboku. She is an advocate and chairperson of the HIV and AIDS Tribunal. Carolyne, good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Before we dive into it, what does the HIV Tribunal, what cases do you handle? What do you deal with?
Okay. So the HIV Tribunal is a specialized court that is established under Section 25 of the HIV Prevention and Control Act.
Yeah.
Now, it is established so as to handle cases of human rights violation based on HIV. And by that we mean it hears cases that are deemed as violations. And so we are made up of 7 members. We have the chairperson, we have 2 advocates, we have 2 doctors, and 2 other persons who are specialized in the area of HIV. And so we are based in Nairobi, but our sittings are virtual. And so when a case is filed, it's filed in the portal, and then we are able to sit and hear. So you do not have to travel to to Nairobi for your case to be handled. You can log in Malindi, Lamu, Tana River, or wherever, and you will be heard.
All right. And what are some of these cases? What are the common cases that you get?
Okay. So ideally, the HIV Prevention and Control Act gives us an overview of what are some of these violations. And some of those violations include unlawful disclosure, where you disclose someone's someone's HIV status without their consent. And then we have cases of discrimination. Here we are looking at discrimination of whatever form based on someone's HIV status. It could be discrimination at the workplace, it could be discrimination at the school, it could be discrimination by your landlord because they've heard that you are HIV positive and they do not want you to stay in their house.
Yeah.
And then we're also looking at unlawful disclosure in the by third parties. This could be family members who know your status, and then they decide that they are telling people.
Yeah.
And we're seeing so many of these, especially in social media, where assuming me and you are friends and we have an issue, and then I just go and post kwanikana. Then we're also seeing it kwa jamii, unajua tunapenda umbea.
Yes.
So I just come up one day and say, you know what, huyu Karo kimuona anakaa smart sana lakini kuna venye anaenda you get. So chenye tunasema ni unless nimekupatia hiyo consent, I've given you consent to disclose my status, you are not supposed to disclose it. Then we're also looking at hospitals. How are hospitals handling your case? Here we are looking at HIV testing. For those of you who have done testing at the hospital, probably you've gone to hospital to test. Most of us only do that when, for the ladies, when we're pregnant and tunaambiwa ni lazima.
Yes, we're forced.
Yeah, you're forced to. And so you'll go to VCT, that is voluntary counseling and testing, and that is where the word comes from, voluntary.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be forced.
Yeah.
So we're also looking at the procedures in hospitals. So you go to a hospital, the doctor is supposed to counsel you so that just to find out your level of knowledge when it comes to HIV.
Okay.
And then test you and then counsel you again depending on the results, whether or not it's positive or negative. Then from there you follow the procedure. So that process where the doctor is handling you to that point where they're disclosing your status, we are also looking at the confidentiality that is involved there, because there are some people you'll find you've gone there as a couple. Yes, you do not want your partner to know, but the doctor discloses to your partner. We've seen cases where a lady is admitted in hospital, and she does not even know that she's positive. Then the doctor discloses the status to the husband. The next thing you know, you are there, you are in hospital, you are sick, umeachwa hivyo kwa mataa, the guy has gone and taken, thrown you out of the house and taken the children. So sometimes it's just messy. So we are like, unless the patient has given you consent, you have no business disclosing it to third parties.
Okay, now let's unpack it.
Yeah.
Having understood that, what exactly qualifies as, I think you've broken down unlawful disclosure of someone's HIV status. But if someone was cancelled and later discovers their HIV status was shared, right, on social media, what can they legally do?
So that is now where the tribunal comes in handy, because we are saying if I know most of our listeners are Gen Zs, but for the older generation, because there was a lot of publicity on HIV, tulikuwa tunaambiwa hali yako ni siri yako. And so we are still maintaining that your status is your status. You're supposed to know your status, and that is your secret, unless you want to share it out. And so if someone decides to share out your secret, then ideally it's unlawful, and so they can approach us. They come to the court and tell us, because Section 22 of the HIV/AIDS and Prevention Control Act says that it is unlawful for any third party to disclose your status without consent, and not just consent, but written consent. So me as Carol, I have to say I have authorized Salim to disclose my status. Unless there is that written consent, then it becomes hard to prove that indeed there was consent. So the most important is consent. So you have no business going to talk about other people's status. Yes.
Have you ever come across a situation where through social media, somebody used social media to reveal or rather disclose somebody else's status?
Yes. So many. In fact, I think a majority of our cases are in that. Where someone goes to social media and decides to say that so-and-so is positive, or in our WhatsApp group, and then they just decide to disclose. And this happens mostly, we find most of this revelation comes either between partners who have gone separate ways, or between people who are not in good terms, and then you just decide, you know what, I will tell the public about it. And so the most important thing here, by the way, and that is what most people do not understand, for you to come to court, you do not have to be HIV positive, as long as you are affected by HIV. By being affected means you'll find that the community is yet to embrace people living with HIV. And so the moment there's a rumor, even in this office, and I hope that is not what is happening, the moment there's a rumor that someone has HIV, you'll find people do not want to integrate with you. They do not want to deal with you anymore. And so there's stigma, and sometimes because of that, you find it really affects someone's way of life. And so what we're saying is, should someone disclose your status without your consent, you can come and tell us, look, someone has disclosed my status without my consent, and these are the effects. Because of it, I have suffered ABCD, and we will look at the evidence that you have provided before us, and then we will be able to decide whether or not there was disclosure, and then we usually award damages. So as to just discourage people from what do you call it? From
sharing.
From further sharing of information.
Okay, hapa kwenye disclosure, kwa sababu tumezungumzia kwenye mitandao, sijui WhatsApp, magrupu ya Facebook na nini, kuna mtu mwenye yeye anajijua yeye, halafu na kiherehere chake ametembea na kundi la watu wengi, and then after hapo anachapisha majina ya hao watu wenye amekuwa nao, anasema mimi niko hivi na hivi na hivi, lakini hawa nimetembea nao. What happens to that scenario?
Yategemea, unajua kisheria wao tunaangalia hayo maandishi. Ndio kuna venye unaweza sema nimetembea na Salim, lakini bado sijasema nimemwambukiza. Nikisema nimetembea na Salim na nimemwambukiza,
but
that already is disclosed. Kuna discordant couples.
Yeah.
Kuna discontent couples naweza kuwa niko nayo na wewe hauna na tunaishi vizuri hata tutapata watoto.
Ni kweli.
Na naweza kuwa niko nayo na nimesambaza. So as long as nimesema nimetembea na Salim na nimemwambukiza, that is disclosure, because hapo kushakuwa na nishasema uko nayo. But nikiacha hivyo open, unaweza kuja usemee ndio si kusema kuwa nimekuambukiza. Yeah, tunaweza kwa labda tulikuwa tunatembea na wewe lakini maybe tulikuwa tunajiprotect.
But sasa si amechapisha majina.
Kuchapisha majina haimaanishi
that
haimaanishi kuwa umeambukizwa. Lakini nikichapisha majina na niseme hawa niko nayo, nimetembea na hawa na nimewaambukiza, hiyo ni tofauti. Word ni kuambukiza.
Akiliacha
hapo anaweza kuja ajitetee.
Miriam. Hii sheria ni ngumu.
Power of words.
Have you seen your name somewhere?
I'm just asking. Nimeona. I've seen, I think last month nimeona mtu amepost.
Yeah.
And I think on July nimeona pia mtu amepost. Nasema what's hii ni nini sasa?
Alafu pia kuna hii scenario penye mtu anajitokeza. Kwa mfano nijitokeze niseme mimi kama Carolyne niko nayo.
Yes.
Na iko huko nje, ninaongea hata nikuja hapa radio niseme ninaongea mambo na HIV, ninahamasisha watu. Hauna haki ya kusema kuwa niko nayo sababu sijakupatia authority ya kuongea kuhusu kesi yangu. Mimi mwenyewe naweza iongea.
So I can talk about myself.
Yes.
But I'm not allowed to talk about my partner or any other person that I've been with.
Yes.
Okay.
Or your partner is not supposed to talk about it despite the fact that you've come public about it. Why? You have not given them consent to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I can still be an advocate of HIV and I go and talk about it everywhere. But unless I allow you to talk about my status, you cannot talk about your status.
All right. Let's look at now the hospital responsibility and disclosure.
Yes.
How are hospitals and health facilities expected to disclose a person's HIV status?
So ideally it should be in secret, as I said. And then, and apart from that, there's the element of voluntary. Sometimes you find, assuming Swahili Pot wants to put you on a medical cover.
Yeah.
And then they decide you go and have a wellness checkup. You'll find that some hospital will include HIV as a mandatory check. And then they check you.
Yeah.
But ideally that is not the case. They're supposed to tell you among the tests that you're going to do is a HIV test, which you have to consent to. And then much as the general results will be given to the insurance or whatever party that needs it, that specific HIV test should not be given out. That one is yours.
Oh, really?
Yes. And your employer has no business knowing about it. And so you'll find where some of the hospitals have been failing is when they're doing these tests, they do not allow you to do the tests. And so by the time you are being given your results, you realize, look, one of the tests that has been done is HIV. So according to the Act, it is unlawful to force someone to test.
Because they didn't tell me that they were testing for that.
Exactly. So that is forceful testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we speak to I like the fact that you've brought the wellness check when you're joining a new organization and they tell you what you're supposed to reveal. Is it right legally for me to reveal my medical history to an employer?
Okay, medical history, it depends with the purpose. Assuming you are working in the hotel industry, it's a requirement.
Okay. Because
assuming you have a what do you call it, a cough that is not going, like you're handling food ideally.
Yeah.
So your health should be at its best. But you come to a law firm or you come to a radio station like this, I don't think my health really matters. So it depends with the institution, yeah? Yeah, it depends with the industry. But much as it also depends with the industry, what we are saying is test all others, but do not test for HIV. And of course, there has been a backlash, especially for mothers who have young children. They're like, I'm employing a house girl. Much as I need this medical checkup, what about HIV?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the law ties us. Yes, we understand your situation. You need to know whom you're leaving your child with and whether the child will be okay. But what we're saying is you're not supposed to force that girl to undergo a HIV. That girl to undergo a HIV test.
Yeah.
So here we are now. What we're encouraging is, if you know you have the HIV virus, and perhaps the job that you are looking for, perhaps it's a house girl or in the hotel industry, it's just good to disclose and let the people that you're working with know, because ultimately you'll be taking drugs and somehow people get to know just from the goodness of your heart. But otherwise, if you choose also not to say, that's still okay.
So when it comes to the hospital, who can they disclose my status to?
They're supposed to disclose to you as the patient
Alone.
You alone. So even the act actually says that you're not supposed to be assuming the insurance, because there's some covers that they require you to disclose. What we're saying is the act has given, the law has given a provision. So for all insurance covers, they're supposed to have two types of covers. They're supposed to have a general cover for everyone. Now, for the general cover for everyone, you do not need to disclose your status. No matter how many times you go to hospital, the insurance should not know what the doctor is treating you on. Now, the good thing about HIV is the doctor will not be treating HIV. They'll probably be treating a cough, a running stomach, a headache. They'll be treating because it's a disease that attacks your immune system. So they'll be treating other ailments. So those are the ailments that the insurance should be told you're suffering from, but it should not say HIV. But for an enhanced cover, that is a higher cover, then the law allows them to do what? To enhance it. Assuming whatever cover the general cover the insurance gives is 5 million, then for any cover that you take below 5 million and below, you're not supposed to disclose. But for any cover that you take 5 million and above, because of the amount of money that is involved, you are allowed to. I mean, they will demand for the test. Now, and for that, it's allowed in law. But they have to tell you have an option. You either choose A, where we will not ask, or you choose B, where we will ask.
A it is.
When it comes to, you given an early example where maybe I went to the hospital, I was getting treated, my partner was there, and then the doctor revealed to my partner about my status, right? And I had not disclosed this to my partner. Two things. If I'm aware of my status and I withhold this information and I do not let my partner know, what have I violated? Number two, in an instance where the doctor reveals this information to my partner without my consent, what do I do?
Okay. So let me start with the second one, because the first one is more detailed.
Yes.
So with the second one, you have been tested and the doctor reveals to your partner without your consent, then you will sue the doctor and the hospital because of confidentiality. And the doctors also know this. And it's not just matters of HIV. They've been trained on confidentiality. When a doctor handles you, your case is confidential. The results are supposed to be given to you unless you are unconscious, and it's your family who is supposed to be given the results. So in this case, the results will be given to you. They can only be given to your husband if either you tested with your husband and you have consented for the husband to be given the results, or your partner, or if you have consented that you do not want to be given the results should be given to your partner. So you have to consent. And the good thing is the doctors know this. Right now we are seeing a decline in matters of cases where hospitals are being sued for matters of confidentiality. I think over time, with trainings and proper guidance, they're now aligning their systems. Now, second option, the second question was
if I'm aware of my status,
yes.
all right, but then I withhold this information.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are talking about willful infections.
Yes.
So willful infections, the Act was providing for it. That was under Section 26 of the Act, where it was saying that Section 24, where it was saying that it is unlawful for you to willfully or knowingly infect your partner. However, that section was declared unconstitutional based on the fact that as a HIV and AIDS tribunal, we do not handle criminal cases. What do I mean? By that, I mean that when you come to us, as long as there is a possibility, we see that there's a possibility that happened, then your case has a high chance. The level of proof is very low as compared to criminal. Now, for criminal, the level is beyond reasonable doubt, where anyone looking at it, any reasonable man can see that, yes, this happened without a doubt. And so, because of that, we do not have criminal jurisdiction as the tribunal. So that is in the criminal court. And so that section was declared unconstitutional, so those cases no longer come to us. But that does not mean that those cases are not being handled. So those cases are now currently being handled under the criminal court. So for that, you'll have to go to the normal court and then report to the police station. You do the way you would report any criminal case. And then the police will do investigations, and then it will be reported under the Sexual Offences Act. So Section 26 of the Sexual Offences Act makes it unlawful for someone to knowingly infect you with sexually transmitted diseases. And HIV is a sexually transmitted disease. So it will neatly fall under that section. Kizungumkuti sasa ni kuproof.
To prove that I willfully deliberate
nilikuambukiza, because for it now to go through lazima nionyeshe uliniambukiza tarehe fulani wakati fulani. So sometimes you getting evidence
of maambukizaji
inakuanga ngumu, because you see, maybe we have dated or we have been married for 3 or 4 years. You get me, I claim you are my only partner, lakini maybe kuna siku moja ama kuna siku mbili
uliteleza,
ama hata maybe nilienda nikaongezwa damu, ideally pia, much as it is a sexually transmitted disease, you can be infected in so many other ways apart from just sex. You get perhaps ulienda kwa blood transfusion, ama weni unatumia drugs na mmeshare syringe na someone. And so for me to now pinpoint nilipata kutoka kwa Salim, inakuwa ngumu.
Mbona kizungumkuti?
And that is why now most couples, it's now usually advisable before you engage in sex, you test. You get and then tukisha test, and I know sijaenda kinyozi, sijakatwa, sijapata kwingine, at least I can come with that test and say, look, tulitest siku fulani alafu juzi nimerudi nimepata
to test jamani,
nimepata niko nayo. You get
When was the last time you tested?
Wewe tunaongelea tribunal. Sasa mimi nataka kurudisha pale kwa stories za job.
Yes.
On behalf of hawa watu wenye wanaendaga kufanya kazi. Yes, naonaga wanafanyanga medical. Na I think hiyo pia wanafanya, right? Na hapo umesema kama si kazi ya umesema chakula, hotel that is, and then kuna nyingine umetaja pia
wale wa nyumbani kama
wanyumbani, yes, how but how kwenye fields nyingine umesema kama ya wakili na sisi hapa hatuhitaji wale wenye wanaenda kazi nje wale, manake vipimo vyao wanafanywa hapa hao nao vipi?
Sasa
yes,
hii sheria ya tribunal,
yes, Yes.
It's only applicable in Kenya.
Hapa within the borders.
Yeah.
Mm.
It does not go within, it does
Beyond.
not go out
Yeah.
of the jurisdiction.
Mhm.
And so wale unakuta zile nchi za Gulf zinahitaji. So hizo ni sheria za, ni sheria zao na lazima ucomply.
Yeah.
So inamaanisha kama unataka kwenda inabidi ujisubmit because hazitumiki hapa, zinatumika
huko.
Zinatumika kule.
Pimweni,
Sasa hiyo ndio tofauti.
Pimweni.
Yeah. Let's now look at consent when it comes to children.
Yes.
When it comes to the child or a child, who gives consent before a HIV test is done?
Okay. So ordinarily, the law looks at the child as anyone who is under 18. So as long as you're under 18, you're a child. And the law says that you're not capable of giving consent. Your parent has to give consent or your guardian.
Yeah.
But when it comes to matters HIV, there's an exception.
Okay.
And by that, we mean that we are looking at not the age, but the maturity of the minor. Why do we say that? We say that because we find that sometimes there are teenagers who have gone to hospital and they are pregnant, or they have gone to hospital just to test. They're already engaging in sex.
Yeah.
And so this nurse, remember, much as we're talking about sex, we are talking about consent. By the time the nurse is calling your parent to ask for consent, you have already been denied a service. And so what the nurse is supposed to look is at the maturity of the maturity of the child.
Yeah.
If the child is already engaging in sex, the child is already married, much as they are under 18, then the consent, they have already done away with the issue of the parental consent. Yeah.
Also,
So
a parent does not need to get involved.
Yes,
in that.
a parent does not need to get involved. For mature, we call them mature children.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're already out here. Some of them are already married, much as they are under 18,
Yes.
and some of them are already engaging in sex, and they just want to know their status.
Yeah.
So you allow them because they've shown maturity. You test them. But for the others who are young, 10, 11, those ones you must get the consent of the parents.
Okay.
So you're dealing with for those ones you're dealing with the parents and not the
Yeah.
child. But a child who walks themselves to the facility and they say that they need this test, or you can see that they are pregnant or they are already married, then you do away with the issue of getting consent from the parent and you deal with them directly.
Okay. Hapo mahali hapo tunajua hawa watoto wetu. So tuseme ako 16 17 sawa, akuje, you have to call
16 17.
Yes.
Amejileta mwenyewe. Unampima.
Oh, you don't call the parent?
No, you do not call the parent. They have presented themselves to the facility.
Yes.
At that point, they have already shown they understand what HIV is all about. They want this test.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you test them.
Or they have come because they are pregnant.
I'm saying how you hata hana mimba.
But kuna wale zenye sasa maybe ni student. Ni student ako wapi? Ni student ako shule. Tuseme high school. Ameletwa na nurse wa shule, ameletwa na institution and all that stuff.
Apimwe.
Mtampima these other, that's when nasema tunaangalia maturity.
Yes.
Mtampima all the other things apart from HIV unless some parent apate any consent. So hapo tunaangalia umekujaje kwa facility.
Ukija mwenyewe.
Umejileta mwenyewe
Unapimwa.
na unataka because remember we have youth friendly HIV testing centers, VCTs. And it's catering for the youth because trust you me, not all the youth okay, not all the youth are in school. And some are out here, some are even working, some are you know that thing of you have to be 18 to start working or to know some of these things. It's no longer applicable. Yeah, because we're even seeing most of them are married and they're coming with their spouse. Yes, of course, they're children still, but they have shown some element of maturity.
Yeah.
Yule tu mwenye ametolewa boarding ni mgonjwa, huyo mtamfanyia all the other tests apart from
Lakini
HIV.
ikifika hapo consent. Lakini
Yeah.
akijileta
mwenyewe na unaona either akona mimba ama unaona akona amejileta mwenyewe anataka HIV test.
Wempime.
Yeah. So Carolyne, as we wrap up, last week we spoke about a story where there were rising new HIV infections, right? 6,000 in men and 13,000 in women. And we had this conversation about how back then there used to be an intense form of awareness.
Yes.
Do you feel like we have slowed down when it comes to creating awareness around HIV and AIDS? And what should we do? What should be done?
Yeah, unfortunately we have slowed down. Kenya in general has been working towards zero new infections by 2027. And last year but one, we were doing good until the report came and showed, look, things are different. And I think it's because we are no longer talking about HIV, like it stopped existing. We are talking about other things. We're talking about malaria. We're talking about cancer. We are forgetting about HIV. It's like we only talk about it on the 1st of December. on World AIDS Day.
Yeah.
But what we are forgetting is we have the youth who are growing, and they've not had that capacity building that we've had. This generation of millennials that we've had. Why? Because in the 90s. There was so much campaigns about HIV in the radio, in TVs, and even condoms used to be advertised.
Yes,
you get, but these days, when was the last time you saw a condom advert?
I cannot remember.
Yeah. We are not talking about it.
Yeah.
Right now, you talk to a youth, and they'll tell you they fear getting pregnant, and not HIV. Why? They do not know about HIV. They did not see those. They did not see those videos.
They did not see the chill. There was a chill campaign.
Na video nyingine hatari sana.
Exactly. They used to be everywhere in hospitals. You go and you're like, okay, this is bad.
Hapa nitakufa.
But they don't know. I was talking to a student the other day, and they were telling me, by the way, HIV in our campus is option. It's like wakona ABC answers. Yet it's offered as a subject, as a common course. You get.
Also, it's an optional subject.
No, not optional, but it has ABCD answers. What were we calling them?
Choices.
Yes.
Yet, the last time they saw choices was when they were in primary. After high school, it was all about essays. Then how comes you're coming to campus and instead of writing an essay, you're given ABCD answers? In short, guess and go.
Yeah.
You get, So it shows even the institutions are not giving it the important. Are not treating it as an important subject. Yeah. And so, based on that, most people do not know the repercussions of having and living with HIV. And apart from that, you'll find that right now there is ART, antiretroviral treatment and therapy. So trust you me right now, if someone was to come here or assuming I am the one taking ARVs, you won't know.
It's true.
Why? Because with that and with proper nutrition, you will be so healthy. In fact, I'll be even bigger than someone will be bigger than me, or someone will be more healthy. Where if we were to compare, you would say the person who has it is yeye ndo hana. You get, and so. Because of that, the youth are not seeing the effects, and so it's now upon us who have a mic and those who have the opportunity to now spread it and just talk to the youth, especially the youth, because it's actually affecting more youth.
15 and paka 28.
And just talk to them about it. I know it's taught in school, but how is that curriculum? We need something has to give.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, the church will not want to talk about it for obvious reasons.
Because
but what we are forgetting is you do not just get HIV from sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be from any other form.
Yeah.
Wote tunaenda kinyozi, tunaendanga kule salon. Or do you carry your own
No.
do you carry your own nini in
She
the
goes.
salon?
No, especially when you're doing your manicure
nail.
and pedicure.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
true.
They will remove the cuticles,
Yes, and you
they will
share
even
the
cut your
same-
nails, and you're sharing.
Oh my God.
And do you know you're not sure whether or not those okay, they'll tell you they've
It's
sterilized,
Yeah.
but they sterilize them in the morning or in the evening when everyone else has used them.
Baridi imeniingia. Nenda kubeba nini
Niko na
zangu
mashini
nikienda
yangu kwa
sana.
nyumba mimi ya kunywa. Nanyoaga kipara.
Enda ujinyoe.
Yeah, so tumezembea wote
We
as
have.
the community.
We have.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And we are all exposing ourselves, and
Yeah.
we've just remembered you can only get it through sex, but
Yeah.
you're forgetting you can also
There's-
get it through
There are
the
other
salon
ways. There are
and
other
the
ways.
barber shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your parting shot today?
be careful.
Okay. We have been
simple.
speaking to Honorable Carolyne Mboku. She's an advocate and the chairperson, HIV and AIDS Tribunal.